here I'm doing some finishing training. This is the first time that I've done training with this player. He's a coach now. He hasn't played for a while, but he's a Brazilian. He played at a university very close to this area, a top university, but he played in Brazil in the top youth clubs, and he came here for a scholarship education. And I met him online, and the one thing that struck me about him that I've never heard any finishing coach talk about before is he asked to watch a video of one of the games that I played, because he really wanted to study what type of game that I had, how my team was playing, what would be best suited for me, what he thinks I need work on. So that was one of the things that struck me, because I've never had a finishing coach ask those types of things before. So I knew he was very analytical, and he proved it even in this training. I mean, there were times where I would score goals and they would go in good positions, but because of the sound of the ball, or the little subtle things he saw in the shot, he knew that it was off. And every time he said it, it was true. It was such a small mistake that a casual fan would never ever see that, but he knew every shot on target that looked like it was good, but he knew something was off. So that's one thing that struck me, because things like that, a lot of the things he did are the first time that I came across them. So I know he knows what he's talking about. He's a legitimate player. He's been in the game. But this is actually a shooting session I did the evening before the last game of our season. And funny enough, the goal that I scored the next day was cutting inside and curling it far post. The exact same things I'm doing in this training are the exact same goal that I made the next day. But I thought that was interesting, man. I was so excited. I actually messaged him about it that same day that I ended up scoring the goal. But finishing, it's a big weakness for me, and I know I have to do a ton of finishing. I'm at least gonna try and train with them 2 times a week, and then 2 times a week fitness training for the next 5-6 months, maybe 5 months now, before tryouts for some USL teams that I hope I can get to. Hopefully I don't get injured at the wrong time. Hopefully the timing is good. But with him, this is also the best shooting training I've ever done as well. So now I'm in a position where I have the best fitness trainer I've ever had and the best shooting trainer I've ever had. So I think I'm in a really good position to make one of these USL teams. And a lot of the finishing is not just finishing itself, but it's also the mentality. And then it's the mentality that when you go into the game, your goal is to score. That's it. That is it. Nothing else matters. Everything you do, if it's not leading to a goal, it's meaningless. If the end goal is not scoring a goal, it's meaningless. So this is guys, I'm telling you, getting to this point it never really got to me until I moved to Germany at the end of 2013. That moment, and through all those years up until 2018 when I left, the middle of 2018, September to be exact, I really learned and internalized. There's one thing to be told, but it's another thing to internalize. I really internalized how important it is that no matter all the dribbles, all the passes, all the creative plays I do, if I play as a forward and I don't score goals, nothing else matters, because that's all they're going to look at the end of the day. At the end of the season, they're going to look, how many goals did he score? They're going to look at the statistics sheet, and that's it. Alright, so I'm at the doctor right now, about to get my Prp injection on my shoulder that I've had for 2 years. And hopefully it feels better after 3 or 4 weeks. And then I think I gotta take a 3 or 4 week break from doing anything. But after that, man, I hope that it heals. I'm gonna do some laser treatment as well, but I hope that it heals so I can play at 100%. So this is the blood that was drawn being spin around in order to take the platelets to the top.
Yep.
Or the bottom.
So they will spin out to the top.
Okay. All right. So to the top.
The red part on the bottom. See where it's kind of turning lightish? That's where your platelets are, and that's all your plasma. So we're gonna push your platelets up, and then we're gonna spin it again.
Okay. So the platelets you said is a red part.
No, red blood cells are the red. Can you see in the bottom chamber where it starts to turn white? Or
Yeah.
yellow?
Yeah, I see it.
That's the platelets.
Oh. Okay.
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 So we're gonna push them up into the top chamber.
Okay. All right.
And I tried to do it on one hand, and it was like, oops.
All right. So now I'm recording, by the way.
Go ahead.
Is the moment to put it in my shoulder, the platelets, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm ready. All right, so I'm leaving the building. Behind, as you can see, I got my shot, put it back into my shoulder. So as you see here, I got 3 shots to get put back in my shoulder. So I gotta be out for at least maybe like 5 to 6 days, and then hopefully over time it heals with some laser treatment, and then I can hopefully start getting that range of motion back in my shoulder. Alright, so 2 days after I got the Prp injection, I'm now doing the laser treatment. And something that I gotta mention, man, this medical treatment is destroying my finances, man. Paying for these treatments, man, I feel like I save so much money on every paycheck, and then all that money I save gets drained in the next thing. Like my last paycheck, I saved like maybe almost half of it, and then like 80 to 90% of it goes away for treatment. So that's killing me, man. I cannot wait till that's over, but it's definitely something I have to do if I want to continue this dream I have to become a pro. And it sucks. I just hope it's worth it, but I definitely feel some improvement from that Prp injection. So I think it's gonna help out, and to be honest, I really didn't have too much of a choice. Alright, so it's Sunday morning. I'm gonna show you a little bit of what I eat for breakfast normally. I normally always eat this for breakfast. I have here rolled oats, and then I have blueberries and a banana, and with the bananas I just slice them up into small pieces. And then recently I was saving for this because I didn't have enough money in my budget to purchase it, but now I'm gonna make it a regular habit, and this is matcha. Matcha, like real matcha green tea, or powder actually, but it's so it contains 100% pure stone ground green tea product of Japan. So this right here doesn't look like much, but it costs like 40 bucks. It should last me a month. You just put a little bit, but This is really good for well, what I did do, how I came across it. I knew it was always healthy, but I was listening to someone who's like in his 70s, and he's an expert on health, preventative medicine, preventative health care. So taking care of yourself without needing, without having to go to doctors for all these type of procedures that you do because of the American diet. And he listed 7 things that he would take, seven foods that he would take if he could only eat those 7 foods, the most important 7 foods, and this was one of them. So definitely had to get it. The other types of foods that I had before I bought this have really helped with my recovery and inflammation after playing soccer games like no foods I've ever eaten before. So, and I felt it immediately. So this is just something else that I added. Now I have everything, and I'm gonna keep taking this, do my more research, education on health foods. Gonna continue that as well, because I really do want to continue playing soccer until I'm 40, at least. Probably even longer than that, but at least until I'm 40. And at a high level physical health. So I got to take care, make sacrifices. For me, honestly, this isn't even a sacrifice, man. I want to be a pro and play for so long that this is not a sacrifice for me. This is just part of the steps that I got to do. It's just like if someone told you you have to work on this skill in order to be a pro. You have to work on passing in order to be a pro. It's not a sacrifice. It's just something you have to do. And you know that. So that's how I look at it. And by the way, I'm not perfect. I do have a cheat meal normally once a week. I try to limit it to once a week. At the most it would be 2 cheat meals a week at the absolute most, but no more than 1. And a lot of weeks I don't even have any, because there are a lot of good healthy foods, and you don't have, like, for example, one I'm gonna be eating today is 100% grass-fed cow beef. So that would be considered a cheat meal, but I mean 100% grass-fed meat, that's what I consider a cheat meal. But it's still a very healthy choice. So anyways, that's all I wanted to say. That's all I have, just a little bit of my diet.